Good morning, first graders. This is Mr. Stevenson coming at you from his living room. Today is April 16th, 2020. Happy Thursday. It's good to see you guys, and welcome back. First thing up on our agenda today is high frequency worksheet. What that requires, I'll show you the paper that it requires, but first, let me introduce our read the room words for today. This is the word color. We know colors. Yeah. This is the word early. Is it too early for some of you guys? I haven't opened my shades yet because the sun's just starting to come up. I'm doing this kind of a little early. Instead of one piece of pizza, I would like two. Okay, maybe more like 7. Or 8, 10. But I'm going to get nothing because I didn't say please. This word is nothing. I thought you said there was pizza. This is the word thought, a long one. And this one is kind of a silly word that doesn't pop up that often, but when it does, kids have no idea. Oh, as in like, oh no, what happened? Oh, that kind of O, not the letter O. So these 6 words are going to be found on a paper that looks like this. What kids will be doing are putting them in the letter size boxes. They'll find the words in a word search, and then they'll put them in alphabetical order. Why don't you guys pause the video here, and when you hit play, I'll show you my completed page on the camera. See you in a minute. Work hard. Right, guys, hopefully you just finished your high frequency worksheet. I would encourage all of you as you're reading to see if you can find any of these words in anything you happen to be reading. Going down, we have early, color, thought, instead, O, and nothing. And then it wasn't the most exciting word search because all the words were kind of next to each other, going the same way, except for O, who was up in the corner. And alphabetically, it goes color, early, instead, nothing, O, and thought. If you're happy with work, you can have someone give you a Mr. Stevenson bad hair day. Okay, today for math, we have pages 222 and 223. And it's kind of fun because you get to use some spare coins, spare change. And I got some change out. Now, if you want to get your own change out, pause the video here and go get some. But if not, it's totally okay because I'm going to use my own. Now, when we talk money in first grade, and this is something that's new, so parents definitely didn't learn money this way. But in first grade, we only really talk about dimes and pennies. And the reason for that is the 10 and the 1, or the place value type numbers, are really the essential ones. So we try to point those out. So if I put out some money, I'm going to try to find 1/4 of that money. Okay, so I guess I want to point out I have a dime, and dime is worth what, guys? Yeah, 10 cents. And I have pennies, and pennies are worth what? Yeah, 1 cent. So if I wanted to find 1/4 of all this money, Wait, maybe I should find the total first. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Now I don't have 120 dimes, I have 120, I have 120 cents. So there's a couple different ways to write 120 cents. You can write it just like it sounds, 120 cents. Now, people might look at you funny if you do that, but people would know what you mean. But a different way of writing it is 120 and then the cent sign, or you could do 100 with a decimal point and a dollar sign. Okay, but typically in first grade we do these types of money writing, write money in that format. So back to the task at hand. If we were to want to put this into fourths, we know when you split something into fourths, you're breaking it into 4 different pieces. So what I have is a paper that I used earlier this week, and I'm just going to split the money into 4 different corners. So this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. Oh, and then I'll repeat. This corner, this corner, this corner, this corner, and then I repeat. This corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. What is 1/4 of 120 cents? Well, let's look. 10, 20, 30. Oh, are they all 30 cents? Yeah, so 1/4 of 120 cents is 30 cents. Okay, but that's just an example with dimes. I want to do an example with dimes and pennies. So I'm going to do this. Hope you guys can see a copper penny on my orangish reddish rug. Okay, so same thing. Let's figure out our total first. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. We have 44 cents. Okay, then I'll slide my paper that I have into fourths, and I'm going to start with the dimes. This corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. Wait a minute, I'm out of dimes. Does every corner have a dime? Yep, so that's okay. Then I can switch over to pennies. Penny, 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 penny. And I'm out of extra coins over here. So, what do I do? Let's figure out what's in each corner. 10, 11. 11 cents. So 1/4 of 44 cents is 11 cents. Interesting. Okay, now in first grade, we talk about money on and off kind of throughout the year. So your child may need some reminders, but I think, well, I haven't seen them face to face in a bit, so I'm not gonna think anything. So if they need to spend some time getting re-familiar with dimes and pennies, go for it. What kids are gonna be doing, and it's kind of what I just did here, is pages 222 and 223. You're going to write the total on top. You're then going to loop 1/4 and complete the sentence. So you may want to take that number of pennies and then use a paper or 4 corners and split them up differently. So on top, you will write the total in number of cents. You will circle 1/4, then 1/4 is blank cents. So this page has just pennies. This next page has dimes and then dimes and pennies. So it's the same thing. You write the total on top. You will then loop 1/4 and then complete the sentence that says 1/4 is blank cents. And then down below,
4 friends share the cost of this toy. How much will each person pay? Draw your coins to show your thinking. So, and you want to do this using only dimes and pennies. So that might take a little bit, but I think kids can figure this out. This one would be very helpful to have dimes and pennies. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys work. You should pause the video, and when you hit play, I will have the answer key up on the screen.
Okay guys, hopefully you just saw the answers to your math for today. Hopefully you did okay with those. Tomorrow in math we'll be kind of changing the whole topic, so stay tuned for that. Today in writing, I just want to talk about how I recognize that writing is a process and kids may not always fit right into the schedule for writing. It can be hit or miss. Sometimes kids take multiple times to edit and rewrite and add details, and they want to start over with their planning, and that's okay. I kind of try to make things more of like a guide rather than, I'm okay if it's more like flexible and it doesn't necessarily need to be something rigid. And just because it says, oh, we must be editing right now, well, I recognize writing's a process, and even when I'm in the classroom doing writing with the whole group, kids are constantly doing all sorts of different things with writing. So I get it. So if your child did recently edit, usually something that takes a lot of time for a first grader is building up endurance as to, oh, I just made these changes, I must be done. But having kids recognize that writing is that process and it never really truly ends is, tricky. So encourage your kids to, after they've edited, to read it out loud and see if it really makes sense. And then maybe challenge them to say like, what could I do to make this sound a little bit different? And this is where kids can really try to put in some words that like really expand their vocabulary. It's where they might, add some more actions into it. They might add more words to describe things. And it's really where kids have fun with writing. It makes it their writing piece into a story. Now I want to point out that if they're struggling to have a beginning, middle, and end type of situation, there's some things that you could say. Kind of have them come up with ideas of, the where, the when, and the who. And then talk about, what kind of problem should they have? And then, have them think. And kids are good at talking. I know, they're good at telling stories. And then, okay, so if that's the problem, what kind of materials does that character need to help them? And, maybe they need, I don't know, certain supplies to do whatever they're trying to do. So then the character could be gathering supplies and something happens. And then once they have all those supplies, well, now we need to assemble them in a certain way to figure it out. So just kind of encourage them to really think about what they want to share. Sometimes kids just like to get writing. It's something I have to do, but But really, kind of my focus for writing is let's make it something fun. Let's make it an experience, and let's make sure we enjoy it. And it's okay that writing should look different every time the kids sit down to do it. I hope this kind of ramble helps guide you with writing. I'm been kind of going back and forth on how best it is to help kids with writing. I could sit here and write a story, sure, but I don't know I don't want kids to sit there and be like, what is this Mr. Stevenson character doing? I want, I want to share with families some ideas to help motivate your kid and hopefully help inspire them to be better writers. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to end the video here for today, and if you have any questions, certainly let me know. And I hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.